cankerworm that's eaten deep into the fabrics of our productivity as a disco and even to our customers. And I'll start by explaining what energy theft is. Energy theft is a situation whereby a customer or where an individual, let me use the word an individual.
Yeah, sometimes it might not even be your customer.
Yeah, when an individual connects illegally
Okay.
or he uses electricity without paying for the power that is consuming.
Okay.
Now, I would divide it into two. Energy theft can happen through what you just mentioned, as in somebody that's not been connected to the network, that's illegal, or a metered customer.
Okay.
Somebody that's even registered with us, that is a customer, and we have his data on our database.
Okay.
The kind of person also can also involve in energy theft by having an unauthorized access to his meter. What do I refer to as unauthorized access? It is tampering with our installation in a bid to evade payment. So that becomes energy theft. And the most significant disadvantage of this is divided into three.
Okay.
I will start by saying it causes financial losses
Okay.
because every investor plows money back from the profit that he makes from his business.
Of course.
And Disco is not an exception. For every quantum of electricity that we produce and send to our customer through our distribution network, we have to pay the transmission and the generation companies for them. So the moment you are stealing this energy, there is a meter from the source or at the source that is recording every quantum of energy that we are giving our customers. So at the end of the day, the meter is read and the value is paid in naira
Okay.
to our discos, to the transmissions and the gencos. So in a situation whereby a customer has stolen this energy, it becomes difficult for you to get the money back and pay for the services that you have given already. So now what does that tell us? It tells us that it becomes a very big problem for the company to plow back into the system to ensure that things that are supposed to be done are done. Because when you don't have the profits that you expect, how do you plow back to this business? That's number one disadvantage. Number two disadvantage is that it can even lead to death. Because by the time you are connecting illegally, you are not trained. What you just know is you want to hang a wire in the night because you don't want to pay.
Exactly.
And in doing that, you may get electrocuted. We have seen issues like that
Exactly.
in the discos.
Yes.
Then number three also, it can cause problems to the equipment that you have. I always tell people that electricity is not like water. When you distribute electricity, you distribute electrons. And the characteristics of electron is that if there is an impediment to the flow of current, it goes back to the source. Unlike water that can still flow through. But this goes back to the source. And when it goes back to the source, what it creates is a heat energy around that particular equipment. Those that know physics, we call it I square R. That's the current and resistance. And what that does, it causes problem on the equipment that is sending out that supply. So it creates heat around it. And you see the transformers packing up. You see the wires snapping. And that is the problem that energy theft causes. So within our environment, let us find a way to educate people and desist from energy theft. It's a very grievous offense. Thank you.
All right, very grievous offense, I must say. Now, talking about that being very offensive, under the current regulatory work, does the ADC have the legal authority to disconnect customers who are involved in illegal connections without issuing a prior notice? And if this is so, what safeguards are in place to ensure that this power isn't abused?
Yes, ADC have the veto power to disconnect customers that are involved in this.
Okay.
And the Customer Protection Regulation of 2023 also empowered us that we have the legal authority to disconnect any customer found to be engaged in illegal connections without prior notice. And this regulation is aimed at curbing electricity theft and preserving the integrity of the power supply within the system. Yeah, we do not disconnect arbitrarily. That's one thing I want all Nigerians to know.
Okay.
AEDC follows strict internal procedures, including investigations, evidence gathering, and proper documentation before any disconnection takes place. In many cases, we also work with security agencies to ensure full compliance with the law. The ultimate goal for this is to protect our paying customers, and create a fair electricity distribution environment. So this morning we encourage everyone to formalize their electricity connection, avoid illegal practices, and take full advantage of our support system to regularize their supply.
Okay, okay. When you talk about support system, now somebody has been found doing something illegal that is very detrimental to the company. Do you like take them to court? Do you prosecute them? Do you arrest them in the case you find out? Or do you just quietly just go through your procedures and disconnect?
No, not at all. We prosecute them.
Okay.
The law is there.
Okay.
If you are found on illegal connection, you can be prosecuted.
Okay.
And there is a jail term for that.
So it's a very punishable
It's
and
a
jailable
very,
offense.
very punishable offense.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Now, let's talk about how customers can report suspected cases of energy theft. Now, for the whistleblowers that may want to reach out to the AEDC as regards any case of this illegal connection.
Yeah, we allow customers to call. In fact, we encourage it a lot for customers to call when there are issues of illegal connection. You can whistleblow, and during the course of the program, I'm going to dish out those lines that you can get so that you can call. So we encourage it a lot. When you see people around you that are indulging in such act, the onus lies on you for you to escalate. How do you escalate? You whistleblow, because if you keep quiet, it will affect you.
Of course, if you keep quiet, it will affect you. So if you see something, say something.
Yes.
Exactly. Okay, so I think that before we move on to the other segment of the conversation, if you can just give us that whistleblowing line so that people can just take it down in the case that they see something going on in their community that is illegal as regards connection, they would reach out to the AEDC for clarification.
Okay, you can actually write on our Facebook. Our Facebook is Abuja Electricity.
Okay.
Facebook at Abuja Electricity. You can use our Instagram at AEDC Electricity. Let me check the Facebook again, at Abuja Electricity. Instagram at AEDC Electricity. You can email us customercare@abujaelectricity.com. Then you can also use our website, www.abujaelectricity.com, or you can use our WhatsApp if you want it to be very secret that others will not see, which I know most people love that in Nigeria. So you can use our WhatsApp number. Our WhatsApp number is not what we publicize to people to see.
Okay.
Yeah, that's 08152141414. Then you can use 08152151515, and you can use this number 08008476337. Let me take that again. 08008476337. Or you can use email tip off. The tip off is written tip-ops@deloitte.ng. tip-ops@deloitte.ng. Those are secret numbers that nobody knows. So you can send there if you don't want it to be.
Okay.
If you don't want to be publicized.
If you see something and you want to say something anonymously, then you can reach out to that number or the email that he has called. We'll definitely revisit that in the course of the show. Now, let's talk about band categorization. I remember that this has been like a hot button issue here in Nigeria, especially as it directly affects how much people pay for power and how much power they get. The band A, the band B, the band C, and everything. So, what's up with the band categorization? Why and how are customers placed on different bands, and maybe band A and the rest of them? Why this categorization?
Yeah, categorization becomes necessary because of the need to ensure that our customers enjoy supply as they can afford.
Okay.
Now we've divided it into 5 bands. We have band A, band B, band C, band D, band E. But we in AEDC, we don't practice band E because band E is almost there's no supply. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry, sir. Why is that so?
There are some villages that they don't have that priority.
They don't have the financial muscle, or they don't have the priority for it.
It varies. At times they may not have the financial muscle, or where they are the network does not get there, sort of. You know, electricity is like you send a quantum of energy out from source to the
Okay.
tail end. So there are some villages that are at the extreme end, that you have faults that happen along the line depending on the length or the route length of the feeder.
Okay.
So at times when it happens like that, you see that they place them on band E. But we in ADC, I can gladly say that we don't have any of our customers on band E.
So all your
Even
customers are
from band D up.
upward.
We don't
okay.
practice band E. So band D are the customers that enjoy supply from 8 hours to 12 hours.
Okay.
So band C is from 12 hours to 16 hours.
Okay.
Band B is from 16 hours to 19 hours.
And it's like that.
Yes.
The
Then
electricity
band
is
A-
constant.
Yeah, constant.
Okay.
Then band A is 20 hours to 24. So to go back to the question you asked, what categorizes a customer to band is the hours of availability.
Okay.
How available is the supply? So if you have supply that is 20 hours above, you know that you are on band A. But we have made it flexible. And how do I mean? This flexibility has to do with if you are supposed to be on band A. You know, what takes you to that band A is, okay, let's say last month, which was March. If you enjoyed supply from 20 hours to 24, automatically at the end of the month, we are going to give a notice on our website.
Okay.
And we do community engagement to tell the people that, see, you have enjoyed 20 hours to 24, which you yourself, you will confirm it because we give you valid evidences.
Okay.
So we move you to band A. So, but if we moved you to band A after 1 month or 2 months, your supply drops from that 20 hours to 24, we are liable to take you back to band B. We downgrade you. And what NEC has done is, we'll not only downgrade you, we'll compensate you for the hours. So if it's 19 hours, if it's 18 hours you got and fell short of 2 hours, those 2 hours will be calculated in kilowatt hour and they will be refunded to you as a token. So when you vend, when you buy units, that token will be added to it. That is to compensate for the shortfall that you had
Okay.
that previous month. So that's how it is.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, sir. So now to put this into perspective, is it safe to say that the band categorization is like a case of you cutting your coat according to your size or your material? Can that be said?
I would derail a bit from that. We can't say that because
Okay.
where you have your house or your building is what determines
How
the
much
band.
electricity you would get.
If you are living in Metama, if you are living in
So they are automatically band A.
yes, because
So
the-
what band are we on now?
I think you are band B.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, but there are places that when you build your houses, you yourself knows that
It has to be
it has
this
to be on
band.
band
Ha,
A. Yeah,
okay.
that's how it is.
Okay. Well, A comes first. Hopefully, one day when I build my house in Asokoro, Metama, I'll be in band A.
Come on.
Okay, so now moving on from that, let's talk about if a customer would want to switch, especially for me that want to build my house one day when I'm moving from Lugbe to Asokoro. Can I switch, or is it possible?
You
Or-
can.
yes.
You
Is
can-
it possible
you-
to switch?
You cannot switch. You can only be downgraded if
Oh.
you have not. If only if you have not enjoyed that particular supply at that particular time.
Okay.
But if you want to go to Asokoro to build, you should know that you are a big boy. So you are going there to
You have to
meet
move
band
like the
A.
big boys.
Come on, you have to do that.
But it's still like the case of if you are going for the big fish, then it has to come with it. Like my people would say that if you are eating a big toad, then I mean if you want to eat a toad, then you go for the big toad so that you know you've eaten something.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, you are talking.
Okay. So now, for instance, somebody that is in Asokoro and they want to move from band A to band B, is it possible?
No. It's not possible. You know, every of our customer is connected to what they call a feeder.
Okay.
When you look at the sky, if you are driving, you see 3 lines that are held by a pole.
Yes, by the side of the
those
road.
3 lines is what we call a feeder.
Okay.
So that feeder radiates from transmission, then goes to an injection substation at times, or at times it goes to customers' transformers. So in as much as you are on that line, and that line is available between 20 and 24 hours, that shows you are band A. So no matter how poor you are, the moment you are connected to that supply, you are band A. So you cannot say, I don't want to be on band A when the feeder is band A. It's not possible.
But what could be the reason that someone would not want to be on band A? Could it be? Is it much higher? The more lights, the more money.
It's 209 naira 50 kobo per unit. But I always tell people, 200 naira selling a unit of electricity at 209.5 and comparing it with the fuel that you are buying at 970 per liter. Which one is
That
fairer?
is guaranteed if it's going to be like that.
Yes, because electricity is power.
Okay.
It's energy. Fuel that you are buying is also energy. Do you get what I'm saying now?
Of course.
So at 209.5 that Nigeria is still selling, I don't think it's too high, because when you compare it with other petroleum products, you will see that electricity is still very cheap. And when you compare the price that electricity is being sold in Nigeria with other countries, you will still see that Nigeria is not as expensive as when you go to other countries.
Okay.
You get me right now. So to me, that band A is affordable in as much as you have that supply, because you won't buy you don't need a generator, because it's only like 3 hours outage per day.
Okay.
So what do you need a generator for? Well, you may not even need a solar.
Okay.
So you are in Nigeria living in Europe. That's how it is.
But if you take a trip up, you discover that from that axis, most of those houses have panels on their. Is it like a backup or something in the case that there is, I don't know, like in the case that there is maybe a
backup.
of course, because nothing is perfect.
Yeah.
But when we talk about affordability, it's relative for some people, and some people would say that maybe the money would not be the problem if we have that electricity that has been promised for us, like let the power supply be constant. So I think that if the power supply is constant, people may not have issues paying. At least they are getting word for it, for businesses, for even households and everything. They may not have. Don't you think so?
I don't think so.
Okay.
One thing I can say about that, I'm a Nigerian, a typical Nigerian. Every Nigerian wants things easy. That's how it is.
Is that?
Yes. You want things easy. Because if you have a 20-hour supply or 21-hour supply, to me, why do you need a solar? You don't need a solar. And one thing is, you are rest assured that if you are shortchanged from that band A, they are going to refund those shortfalls in the hours of availability.
So how many Nigerians even know that it's very refundable or that they can be compensated for this?
We try as much as possible to put it on our website. So if you enter our website, most people, they only like to abuse ADC like police. But you don't go into our website. Our website is so educative. Okay. If you check our website, you will know your right. I always tell people, if you are using electricity, the first thing you should know is your right. You should know your right. NEC has made these things explicit enough for every consumer or every customer to know his right. Okay. So it starts from you knowing your right, knowing what, as a human, you must know your worth. Do you get what I'm saying now? Yes. If you don't know your worth, people will rubbish you. So the same thing, I work with the power sector. I spent 20 years. And even before I joined, I knew my right. So our NEC publicized it, ADC publicized it. So check and know your right, so that you know what is due for you.
Okay, and I think that the AEDC is also breaching that information gap by coming to talk to us here, because this is not the first time you would come here on radio to educate the masses on their rights and also what they need to know as concerning the services that the AEDC provides. I think that's a big kudos from us to you. Now,
Thank
let's
you.
talk about metering. This is another bone of contention when it has to do with power distribution. In view of the metering gap that the AEDC has, are there sufficient meters to cater for this demand? And would these meters, in this case, if they are available, would they be given for free?
Yeah, I've said it again and again. We have meters
Okay.
because we have what they call meter service provider map. So you can apply through map, and the
Okay.
good thing is, the cost of purchase will be paid back to you over the years.
Okay.
So we have meters. You can apply for your meters, pay online. There are account numbers that are on our website that you can check.
Okay.
Pay to them. We call them meter asset providers.
Okay.
So you pay into the account within 10 working days. You have your meters. So, and I believe if you sample every Nigerian now, they will tell you that meters are available. Because of recent, we've pumped in so many meters for our customers.
Okay.
Because we are trying to go metered. All our customers, we want them metered. Metered.
Okay, sir. So now tell me about this. Now, when the meters are available, how affordable? What's like the rates, or is that exclusive
we
information?
have different prices for the meters because
Okay.
we have up to 6 meter asset providers that but the average of a single phase is 135,000. Then of a three phase is like 235,000. So the price varies, maybe 4,000 depending. We have up to 6 people that have invested in metering as third parties.
Okay.
So you have them on our websites. I may not be able to tell you now, but they are on our website.
Of course. So with 135,000
Single
naira,
phase.
you
single
can get the
phase.
single one.
Yeah, sure,
But then
sure.
you also have the double face, and the prices
We
depend
don't
on
call
the.
it double face, three face.
Okay, three face. Okay.
So you got to pay me so I can
Okay.
teach you.
Of course, that is why you're here. All right. So now let's talk about activating the meter after installation. Does this work? How does it work? If so,
Yes, all our meters are installed. After they are installed, they are activated. There is a reason why we activate.
Okay.
If you activate meters and give customers, some customers may divert it. So
Oh.
what we do is we install first. After installation, the guys that install, we call them the installers. They send the meter particulars to the back office
Okay.
before it's activated. And why it's activated is for the customers to be integrated into the system, and they will be able to vend. Vending means you buy credit on those meters. If the meters are not activated, you cannot buy credit. You cannot buy credit.
Okay. Now, earlier you talked about illegal connections, or energy theft and everything. But what about those who actually enjoy this electricity and refuse to pay their bills? Sometimes we've had cases where some of the officials will have to like come fight, or maybe sometimes even exchange blows before they can resolve some of these issues. Some even argue that they are being billed for power that they did not get. How would you respond to some of these things?
One thing I would tell everybody is electricity is a paid service. It's not free. Even the economists that say the land is a free gift of nature, you still pay for land.
still have to
Talk
buy.
less of electricity. So you need to pay for electricity. It's a paid service, not free. And it costs money for us to generate, to transmit, and even distribute an electron, which is electricity that we use.
Okay.
So every customer is expected to settle their bills regularly. When customers continue to use electricity without paying, it puts pressure on our operations, making it difficult to maintain the network. And to respond to fault self quickly, it becomes a Herculean problem. And to improve our services, in fact, it's always very difficult when people don't pay. So customers are admonished to pay their electricities, or they will get disconnected from the supply.
Okay.
So we encourage everyone concerned, about their bills, whether it's about accuracy or supply, to contact us. If you have any complaint about your billing, the channels are there, the avenues are there. It's not a cast in stone. So if you feel that your bills are outrageous for you to pay, you can contact us. Visit our customer experience office, and we are going to attend to you.
Okay. All right. If you feel that your bill is too much or you can no longer afford what you are being asked to pay, the AEDC is there. Their customer service is very smooth. That process can be accelerated for you where you get to have a conversation and come to a common front. Now, let's talk about vandalism. Earlier we discussed non-payment, and another issue that also affects the distribution system is vandalism. Some people avoid, not only avoid paying, but also damage electricity infrastructure because they feel like, oh, it's public infrastructure, it's not my personal thing. So how do you handle cases of vandalism? And then, is this also a very punishable offense? Is it is it jailable? Are there, what does the law say about this?
Vandalism is a terrible thing. ADC takes vandalism very seriously, as it directly impacts the quality of service and the availability of electricity to all our customers. So we don't joke with vandalism. When you vandalize electrical infrastructure like transformers and power lines, it does not only cause disruptions, but it also leads to increased costs and even death. We have seen people that die overnight in transformer in substations.
Yes.
And why did they die? Because they are going to steal cables. At times I wonder, what's wrong with these people? You are not electricity, and you are touching electricity. Even we that we work with electricity, we run from it because we are trained. So currently we are partnering with law enforcement agencies to track and prosecute those responsible for vandalism. Anyone caught engaging in such illegal activities will face the legal penalties, including fines and imprisonment, and ADC will continue to take strong actions against them. So let everybody be warned. Please stay off electrical installations. Don't vandalize them.
Okay, stay off electrical installations. Apart from the fact that this is a risk to your life, you also risk imprisonment, as the AEDC is taking really strong steps against vandalism. Now, coming to the bulk of everything, let's talk vending and then we'll wrap it up here on the show. Does the AEDC, but first, what is vending? Because that name might sound familiar to us, but for the layman listening, what exactly is vending? When we say vending in electricity, what does it mean?
Vending can only happen to prepaid customers.
Okay.
What do I mean by prepaid customers? Those people that have meters that buy credit ahead of the usage.
Okay.
So vending is the act of buying that credit from online sources.
Okay.
So when you buy that credit, they say you are vended.
Okay.
So vending is the act of buying those credits for your usage.
Okay.
When you buy the credit, you take it to your meter, ping, 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 you press it, it enters. Then you now say confidently, I've just vended it.
Okay, so in this case, does AEDC have a platform for that where customers can go to?
Yes, sure. And we encourage people to use the AEDC platform because
Is it cheaper?
it's faster. They don't charge you anything. It's FOC.
Is there any
free
discount?
Of charge. Osho free?
Is there any discount? Because
No discount.
somebody will say that nothing is free, not even in Freetown.
So we do have, and it comes with no extra charge.
Oh,
For
okay.
example, if you vend 5,000, you get the exact value of 5,000.
Okay.
At times when you vend from third parties, they take 100
Of
naira
course,
from you.
yes, so you'll pay extra
This
for
one,
that.
you can be on your bed
And
with
just buy your
I'm telling
power.
you, with your family and just buy your power. So you can visit www.payforenergy.abujaelectricity.com. I take it again, www.payforenergy.abujaelectricity.com. Or you can decide to visit the nearest AEDC office to you. One good thing about AEDC is we have offices everywhere. So anywhere you go, you say AEDC office. So you can
Okay.
go there and vend.
The mobile electricity distribution company.
Come on, you can say that again.
Okay, so now you've heard it there. For you to buy your power, you don't need to go and start going through the hustle of everything. Even if light has finished 1 a.m., you can just go to www.payforenergy.abujaelectricity.com. The AEDC has accelerated that process for you to make everything really fast. Thank you so much, sir, for having this conversation with us. But before we let you go, how can we contact the AEDC? What are those platforms or avenue that customers can reach out to you?
Yeah, it's very easy for you to contact a EDC. It's not a rocket science. You can visit our customer care line 08039070070. I take the line again 08039070070. You can decide to visit the social media on Facebook at Abuja Electricity, then Instagram at AEDC Electricity, then email customer care at abujaelectricity.com. Our website is www.abujaelectricity.com, and the WhatsApp number that I called earlier on in the program 08152141414. Take that again 08152141414. Then the last number is 08152151515. So you can get us on all these handles, and we are going to give you the best services as we always do. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Engineer Jonathan Adeyemi, the Chief Business Officer for Wuse Zone AEDC. Thank you so much for coming to talk to Nigerians again as regards the AEDC services in electricity distribution and what they stand to benefit from the company.
And it's always a pleasure to be here. You know, the way you anchor this program is wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you always for coming.
Thank you, Nigerians.
All right. Okay, thank you very much for always listening to Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. It's very important that you know your right and know where to channel your money into. Ensure you're putting your money in the right place, and that is why the AEDC is highly recommending its digital and mobile services for you, so that you don't just have adequate power supply, but also have that in a very seamless and hassle-free environment. Thank you very much for listening to Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Remember, it is still the Sunny Side Show. I am Cassandra Yunumbe, and keep it locked here for that experience you can always count on.
Nothing but feel-good tunes to get you home after work.
Keeps me moving when I'm stuck in traffic.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Tap in and turn it up all day.
Hey, it's Lil Nas